Another factor that contributed to the strain we felt in my marriage in the first year of relocation was the process of moving, packing. I remember on one of my Facebook posts, I I mentioned how just putting our stuff together was so stressful. Like a day before we were to travel, just one day, like in less than 24 hours, in fact, because our flight was really early in the morning. In less than 24 hours, we were leaving Nigeria and we were just going out to get bags to repack our stuff because everything was just so messed up. Everything was weighing so much. So that process, the stress, we were having our bags weighing up to 50 kg. So we knew that all the boxes, the luggages we have gotten for the travel need to make way for us to get bags that can actually help us reduce the weight of our bags and drop some stuff. So a day before our travel, we did not have our bags sorted out. That was stressful. I remember the ride from our home to to where we're going to get the bag and where we're going to the airline office to talk about excess luggages, extra luggages, what the allowances were, what they would allow, what it would cost. I remember that journey being really quiet, really, really quiet. I wasn't talking, my husband was not talking because everybody was processing their feelings at that time. And I'm sure I've trying very hard not to offend or hurt the other person, but I know it was strenuous. And it's for people that are traveling like a day after in less than 24 hours, you should be more together, you should be excited, you should be relaxed. We were not. So that was already causing some strain in our marriage and led to the ultimate, all the stress of the journey, coming over here, then the house that I've mentioned, house search, job searches, chores. Have I mentioned chores? I don't think I've talked about chores. In my home, chores, there were no chore demarcation or this gender does this person does that. We didn't have that in Nigeria. Like the only thing I knew while we're back home that my husband never really did was cook. I always cooked. And so as far as chores were concerned, we never really talked about it. We didn't see it as an issue. But coming over here, one person can get so overwhelmed doing so much at a time, and then that silence that comes in, that silence that comes in when the other person is not helping as you think they should, or is not doing what you would like them to do, was causing a little bit of strain too. And we overall were able to pinpoint this because of one reason, or I was able to pinpoint this and hold on to my marriage and try to work these things out because of one reason that I'm going to be sharing now. So yeah, thank you for staying till here. So if you're still here, it means that you might be relocating soon with your family, or you're considering relocating, or this topic is interesting to you somehow. Please subscribe to my channel if you have not. Like this video, please. Comment, and please share. Share with anyone you know who will be benefiting from what I'm sharing today, and please urge them to subscribe for us. I'd like you to also leave a comment, tell me what you'd like me to talk about in my next video. I would definitely oblige you if it is within my scope of expertise. So now let's talk about what helped me. I think the very day we were landing in Canada, our family that came to pick us at the airport, I think it was that very day. So when we were coming back, I saw a sign that said divorce.ca. And so that brought up a discussion between me and this family member. And I was like, what's up with this? Like, it is advertised here. And somehow we just got talking, and he told me how much of how high the divorce rate is, even in African community where divorce is not easily talked about or mentioned, that when people come over here, a lot of marriages do not make it. So he went on telling me how some people come to Canada or travel abroad overseas with the Nigerian mentality or with the African mentality to think that it can work here. He talked about it, and he mentioned stuff like chores, he mentioned stuff like finances, he mentioned just a few stuff. We were just gisting about it and what he thought were the contributing factors for the high rate of divorce. He talked about it, and I'm not sure he knew how serious I took that. So that discussion for the longest time stayed in my head. I kept remembering it. When things were going sour, I was like, "Oh my God, I didn't think of it. I didn't think of the impact of um, relocation, moving to a new country, what it will have on my marriage." Like, it wasn't even part of my prayers. Like, I wasn't praying when I was saying, "Oh God, my marriage will survive in Canada," and all that. It was never part of my prayers. I never gave it thought. So that information he gave me at that early stage, I knew that this was not us. This was not me being crazy. This was not my husband being mean. We are all still trying to settle into this new place. So even when these issues were coming up and going off, in my heart, I was still leaving space for that. Relocation is causing this. Relocation is causing this. It is mainly the stress of relocation that is causing it. And that was mainly what helped me. I think I'm going to actually tell this person who told me this the effect of that discussion we had in my life and in my marriage, and how it now puts me on my toes. So when these issues started coming up, I knew better. I knew that this was all the stress we were feeling together, that were just coming out in the wrong words, coming out in miscommunication, coming out in other areas too that I have not mentioned in this video. So you get the drift. Now, your marriage, if it is important to you, has to be talked about if you're considering relocating, especially overseas. If you're relocating to somewhere that is far from where you are, your life will change as you know it. In Nigeria, we had help. My sisters were just a few minutes drive away. We had living help. We had support from my mom, who could just travel just to pick the kids, who can just say, "Please send the kids to me." So we had time to do dates. We had time to do just walks, take evening walks without the kids. We had time to create memories that was not easily available to us in our first year of relocation in Canada, because first you have to build your network, and then we had young kids who we could not live on their own. So all those things that we were not experiencing, the date nights, the dinners, the movie night, or just a walk that we're not able to do, was also part of it. So we didn't consider that that would be a big deal, but it actually was, because our life was changing. We did not have the support system we had back home in Nigeria readily available when we came here to Canada. We didn't think it was important, but we learned that it was actually important. Keep creating those memories, just looking for opportunities to be with each other, whether it is when the kids have slept, whether it is when they go to school and daycare. The small chance you have to create meaningful memories together will actually help sustain you through the troubles that you may face in your new environment. It is my prayer and wish for you that you walk through all those issues I don't want you to leave your home with a happy marriage, get to a new country where you're supposed to actually be navigating with the love of your life, and things fall apart because you were not informed. That is why Tech Mom Olivia is informing you today. Your marriage is important. Please give it consideration when you're relocating. Talk about it. Start talking about these issues. Tell your partner. I feel like looking for houses may stress us. When one person gets a job and the other person have not gotten it, may stress us. Chores may also stress us. Let's talk about it now so that when it start happening, we'll say, we already knew this would happen. So it will be easier for us to manage. So I hope this video has been educative and helpful in your journey. So until I come your way again, please stay sane, stay happy, because a Sena mom is a perfect mom. Have a great rest of your morning, evening, afternoon, whenever you're watching this video. I will see you shortly. Bye bye.